In this video, I'm going to show you how to text a girl and get her to like you. If you're watching this video, it's because you want to know how to text a girl and make her like you. And I'm here to tell you that it's not as hard as you might think. With the right approach, timing, and content, you can make any girl fall for you. So stay tuned and I'll show you exactly what to do. Number 1. Start by finding out what her interests are. If you're hoping to text a girl and get her to like you, the best place to start is by finding out what her interests are. With that information in hand, you can craft text messages that will resonate with her and give you a better chance of getting a response. For example, if she's an avid reader, you might ask her about her favorite book or tell her about a new book that you're reading. If she's a fan of movies, you might share your thoughts on the latest blockbuster hit. By starting with common ground, you can transition into more personal topics and get to know each other better. Plus, she'll be impressed that you took the time to find out more about her. So if you're wondering how to text a girl and get her to like you, start by learning about her interests. It's a surefire way to make a great impression. Number 2. Be playful and fun, but also stay respectful. It's important to be playful and fun when texting a girl, but you also need to be respectful. Be sure to keep your messages light and respectful, and avoid being too forward or sexual. This will help ensure that the girl likes you and wants to keep talking to you. Also, be sure to stay within the bounds of what is appropriate for text messaging. Don't use profanity or engage in name-calling, and avoid sending long, rambling messages. Keep your texts brief and to the point, and you'll have a much better chance of getting the girl to like you. Number 3. Flirt with her, but don't go too far. Flirting with a girl over text can be a great way to get her to like you. However, it's important not to go too far when texting a girl. If you start flooding her with too many messages or start getting overly personal, she may start to feel uncomfortable and pull away. On the one hand, you want to be playful and fun, but on the other hand, you don't want to come across as creepy or desperate. So how can you strike the right balance? Here are a few tips. First, keep your texts light and playful. Avoid sending long, drawn-out messages. Instead, keep them short and to the point. And make sure to include a healthy dose of humor. It'll help keep things light and fun. Second, don't overdo it with the compliments. A little flattery is nice, but too much of it will just come across as insincere. Instead, focus on making her laugh and feel good about herself. Third, don't be afraid to flirt, but know when to stop. There's a fine line between flirting and crossing the line, so make sure you're aware of where that line is. If in doubt, err on the side of caution. It's better to be safe than sorry. Following these simple tips will help ensure that you strike the perfect balance when texting a girl. Number 5. Make sure you have good grammar and spelling. It's no secret that first impressions are important, and this is especially true when it comes to texting a girl. After all, your text is the only thing she has to go on when she's trying to decide whether or not she's interested in you. As such, it's important to make sure that your text is well written and free of any typos or grammatical errors. Doing so will show her that you're mature and intelligent, and it will give you a much better chance of getting a response from her. So before you hit send, take a quick look over your message to make sure it's error-free. It may seem like a small thing, but it could make all the difference in getting her to respond positively to you. Number 6. Keep the conversations short at first, then lengthen them over time. When you first start texting a girl, it's important to keep the conversation short. This will help to prevent her from becoming bored or feeling overwhelmed. Instead, focus on keeping the conversation light and friendly. Ask her about her day, her hobbies, and anything else that comes to mind. Once you've been texting for a while, you can start to lengthen the conversations. Feel free to ask her more detailed questions and share more about your own life. However, be sure not to overdo it. Too much information can be overwhelming, and it's important to keep things balanced. By taking things slow at first, you'll be able to gradually build up to longer, more meaningful conversations. Number 7. Ask questions to get to know her better. Asking questions is a great way to get to know someone, and it's especially helpful when you're trying to text a girl. By asking questions, you can show her that you're interested in learning more about her. You can also get a sense of her personality and interests. To get started, try asking her some basic questions about herself, such as her favorite food or hobby. You can also ask her opinion on a variety of topics, from current events to fashion trends. As you continue to text back and forth, you can ask more personal questions that will help you get to know her better. Just be sure not to ask too many questions at once, or she may feel like you're interrogating her. With a little practice, you'll be able to ask the right questions and keep the conversation flowing smoothly. Number 8. Avoid being too pushy or needy. Texting too much or too little can easily make you come across as either desperate or disinterested. The key is to find a happy medium that will keep her interest without coming across as clingy. A good rule of thumb is to keep your texts short and sweet. This way, you'll avoid rambling on, and she won't feel like she's of being bombarded with messages. Instead, focus on sending her thoughtful, engaging texts that will keep the conversation going. And most importantly, don't be afraid to let her take the lead from time to time. After all, you don't want to come across as needy or pushy. Just let the conversation flow naturally, and you'll soon find yourself in her good graces. Number 9. Use emoticons sparingly. When it comes to texting a girl, it's important to use emoticons sparingly. While they may seem like a harmless way to add a bit of flair to your message, overuse of emoticons can make you appear juvenile or unprofessional. In addition, some girls find excessive use of emoticons to be a turn-off. So how do you know when and how to use them? As a general rule, it's best to limit yourself to 1 or 2 per text message. And when in doubt, err on the side of caution. A winky face may be interpreted as flirty, but an eggplant emoji can come across as lewd. Just as with other aspects of your texts, use emoticons wisely and sparingly, and pay attention to how she responds. If she starts using them more frequently herself, then you're on the right track. Number 10. Don't bombard her with messages. When it comes to texting a girl, less is definitely more. Don't try to come on too strong by bombarding her with messages. This will only overwhelm her and make you seem needy. Instead, take your time and space your texts out. A good rule of thumb is to wait at least 4 hours between texts. This will give her time to miss you and think about you. It will also give you a chance to put your best foot forward. Finally, don't be afraid to show your personality. Texting is a great way to get to know someone, so let your true self shine through. By following these simple tips, you'll be sure to text your way into her heart.